But look at that, it's now... Can we actually can get them to just to the Comic-Con, just right like that. There is some disapproval. We have now some political PowerPoints as well. First of all, I think we are just going to get this mutual aid between allies right now before it's... Yeah, we will stop helping others for free. We can do that because we have all these requisites met. If, for example, we were to get the new political thinking, we wouldn't be able to do that, I don't think. But that Brezhnev's policy thing is going to allow us that. Mutual aid between allies. Yeah, so let's do that. I think it was 15 points of political power. Okay, and now we can... well, we could start extracting some resources from, for example, Tunisia. It's probably our best bet on that. It's going to be a high outright cost, but oh well. Did we look at our... let's see here. Our generals are loyal, our KGB is loyal. In fact, what we might do, since we are that high up on both those loyalty and power, we might lower their budget a little bit. The mind's liberalization is getting lower, so we can also drop the envelopes for republic's leaders and get less state propaganda as well. Employment is still maxed out. Hard industry still doing really well. I'm going to get it even lower. Self-fulfillment, pretty good. Agriculture, there, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to lower it to 150 now, since we are now maxed out on that. What else do we need, really? Light industry, it's not maxed out just yet. Export, we could get some more foreign policy and whatnot. Ecology, always something that we could do. Medicine, not maxed out, and medicine availability is not maxed out either. I'm going to get a little bit on the medicine front. Medical technology, there we go. Okay, and 2,400 millions still that we can spend on stuff. We are going to try to get Tunisia to be our resource extraction point. So instead of relying on the subsidies on that, well, I suppose I'm not going to remove them just yet in case we can't get up to... yeah, we couldn't get up to what we want there. So we are still losing a bit of money. It's good enough. We have 405 in reserves. Okay, well. Soviet weakness. Matthias Rust, a Western pilot who illegally landed on the Red Square, Minister of Defense D.T. Yazov says that anti-air divisions didn't interrupt the flight because after the incident with the South Korean plane, they weren't allowed to shoot down a civil aircraft. Moreover, Chicago Convention allows only to demand landing from light sports planes, which is a lot harder than destroying them. Some figures claim that our marshals and generals aren't professional enough to stop this flight, while ignoring the fact that the Soviet anti-air system's purpose is to repel attacks, which can deal significant damage to the country. Our economy simply can't afford prevention of trespassing when we have 60,000 kilometers long border. Sending protests to his country could maybe work. We are most definitely not going to blame the generals and purge army staff. That didn't really work out for the Soviets in real life either. Not cleaning inside the military either. So, two things we can do. I think this is going to save face for our officials more than sending the protest. I'm going to claim that we allowed Rust to cross the border. During our leader's speech, it became known to the world that Rust was granted a permission to cross the border, which shows our peaceful politics. Rust was soon sent to the best hotel in Moscow and is meeting with comrade leader. We are still kind of losing money. It's a second half of this one. We are going to now remove the subsidies, sure, and subsidize somebody else. Let's see here. I kind of would like maybe Bolivia or whatever. Oh, it's because we don't have gold. Our gold reserves aren't high enough for that. Okay, well, we are going to have to do something about that then. Let's start extracting some resources. There and there, like right around there. We have now 5,600 millions that we have, and we are going to put it in our treasury here, so we can actually get put some. Yeah, well, do something about that thing. Wait a minute. Would it maybe be better to have an ongoing subsidization on, for example, Tunisia, so we wouldn't have to do this civil aid all that much per turn? Yeah, it might be what we want to do, actually. The Khrushchevization. Not long before his death, Comrade Chernenko has begun preparations to restore Stalin's cult of personality and accuse Khrushchev of being guilty of de-Stalinization of the party. At the time of his death, the party had already rehabilitated some of Stalin's close advisors, for example Comrade Molotov. Will we continue this project? Well, I don't really like what happened during Stalin's era, but well, I think it was the historical gamer who argued that it's not only Stalin's fault. It's also all of the people under him who did all those other things, and also Stalin did get the country's economy and whatnot better. It's going to. I am just a historical gamer. I think I could have the video game commentary wrong. I watched another one as well, a little bit at least. Look, we want people to like us, and right now we are very centralized kind of a thing. Or I don't know. Let's be less radical about it. Let's continue Chernenko's plans. Slow rehabilitation of the anti-party group was begun. Khrushchev was accused of the departure from the collectivist management principles. Stalin was recognized as 70% good and 30% bad, which is almost identical to the Mao's evaluation of Stalin. Lavrentiy Beria is not English spy now, but he still isn't fully rehabilitated. By the way, that reminds me, we have been trying to get support from the Stalinists more. We want to stop that. We still can't support the conservatives, unfortunately. We have 37 political power and made 19 profit. Yes, we are actually getting up there. For whatever reason, we might be able to get something more researched. I don't know about this. We aren't spending much on the KGB. Weapons increasing. We probably want this one, to be honest. We want to be trying to go toward that full-on recruitment, all sorts of things, so we can use our influence on foreign countries. Weapons increasing. There won't be much good from our high-tech troops during the possible war with imperialists. All these technologies won't save them from nuclear weapons. We need to expand our army. Yeah, so that's what we are going to do. It's lucky that I noticed that I usually don't. Oh, it's first half of. So let's see here. Our employment is still. Houses seriously need some adjusting. We might even put 2 on that. 20, I mean. Hard industry. We don't need hard industry, do we? So 60 on the houses. We want our population to be able to grow and whatnot. I think. MIC has been falling as well. We probably want some more on that. Agriculture, I think we can cut back down on that more aggressively still. And let's spend more on MIC as well then. There. Light industry is still rising up. Services is kind of starting to plateau. We will lower the budget to 110 there. Ecology could be higher. Law and order has gone down. That's not awesome. Intellectuals don't really like us all that much, but well, unanimity is pretty good. Our competitiveness is only at 5 there. Export is only at 0.1. How would we be able to get more export, I wonder? Let's send some more diplomatic missions. Yeah. We might want some more ecology as well and whatnot, I don't know. I think we will actually subsidize Tunisia a little bit so we can start getting this this resource extraction going on every turn. Yeah, let's do some more civil aid. And more resource extraction. Civil aid. Would this be decent enough for that? We are at up to 1600 millions there. So something we are probably going to want to do is get the country development of some part of the world up. Maybe we want some send some people, military aid to Bolivia as well. I think, well, Nicaragua is close to the United States. Kind of. I think I'll subsidize them. Yeah, we can afford maybe to subsidize them as well there. And we are. I suppose we could wait until the second half to see just where we end up in our budget. Whatnot. I wonder if there's any other. We could try to. Yeah, I suppose we could refuse chemical weaponry, although. There is still, for example, this thing. I don't know what we even want to do. There's so much, so ridiculously much here that we could do. Whatever, we'll Did we not subsidize? Yes, it's Nicaragua that we started subsidizing. How about I just make one-time subsidies to, for example, Bolivia. What else? Well, Somalia, you need to get up there on that. Get on our level. We still can't send more arms to Afghanistan. Let's see here. We don't want to go on the negative. We'll just send some more slaves to like Congo. That takes us that much there. Also give Algeria some civil aid there. Yeah, that seems good. I kind of feel like refusing chemical weapons. In order to show that Soviet Union isn't aggressor but a peacekeeper, we should stop using such horrible weapons. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I don't know if that's wise, but that's what we are going to do. Remnants of Joseph Mengele, one of the Auschwitz officers, were found in Brazil. Being anti-fascist would otherwise be good, but the reward for having a meeting with the Brazilian leader, and I don't think that actually... I think we are kind of condemning the... I don't know. Whatever. It's going to get Brazil on our side, and so we want that, obviously. Today, during an official meeting between the USSR and Brazil, which was organized by us, treaties of fight with fascism were signed. Also, a number of questions was discussed. Okay, so we lost... We are losing some money there. Oh well, it's the second half of this thing here. We are still above 400 on our gold reserves, so that's awesome. We could put on this autofill reserve. I'm going to do it manually. It's fine. Acceleration. Comrade, our economy is stagnated and some comrades suggest action. Some of them want to implement the acceleration, which expands import, budget expenses and officially admits economy problems. Others suggested to restore Antropov's methods of discipline, which were cancelled by Chernenko. And the rest thinks that it is a lie and supporters of this idea should be purged. Well, we don't really have much of a choice. We are going to restore Antropov's methods. Campaign of restoring discipline and order in industry gave us positive results. Total income increase of 3% and production increase of 4% are expected. People are not happy with us, apparently, now. We do have extra money now. So we can actually tackle any problems there might be. Let's see, what is the problem? Corruption is actually doing pretty well. We are going to cut back down on our fight against corruption even more. The state mechanism also might not need to be 220. We'll see how it's going to go. This corruption. 2 is pretty good already, yeah. KGB loyalty is still good and power is decent. Right wing doesn't like us. Well, whatever. Medicine and level of education aren't awesome. Medicine availability isn't maxed out. We are going to get some more medical technology then. Housing problems seems to be one thing that we want. Let's just tackle that really much. A whole lot. Luxuries, yeah, well, law and order maybe. Mines liberalization, it doesn't seem to be the problem that we are having. It's something else. Citizens' income is also good. Freedom, we might not want it to be maxed or whatever. Light industry is actually maxed now. We are going to cut back on that a whole lot now. And agriculture, we are also going to cut back down on that a whole lot as well. Services are almost maxed out. One thing, well, we have negative political points. I was hoping I could get Finland on, or whatever on our side. While we have our industry up there. What are you? Protesting. Forging plans. Competitiveness. You're still gaining on those. It's that opposition. How do we reduce the opposition? Let's just put some on all our security spendings and let's get the state propaganda back up to 100 again. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Reasonable. Anything else? Essential commodities are up there, but houses aren't. But we are doing our best on that front. We still have 5,400 million that we can spend on something. Let's spend some on ecology, I suppose. How are our relations? Our relations are doing fairly well, yeah. Shall we just go ridiculous on the houses? Yeah, maybe. Fight against corruption, no. Equipment, soldiers living. I don't think that's what we need. Cultural enlightenment. I think since we can't really use any political points, I'm going to just put the rest into our reserves. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Unhappy intellectuals. Recently you have received a letter in which a lot of famous writers, musicians, artists and scientists are expressing their unhappiness towards your culture policies. They ask you to do something about it. if I do this, I'm going to lose support from the intellectuals a whole lot. But this is also going to be expensive, but I'm hoping I have the money. Enormous resources were transferred to our country's culture sphere. New public events are being prepared. New libraries, culture clubs and cinemas are being opened. By the way, we have... I suppose we have it... It just goes over 100 if we keep the subsidies. Yeah, it's fine. So, there, we lost a whole lot there. Whatever. We'll manage somehow. I kind of feel like we need to wait until the next half year to be able to see the effects of all our things, so I don't know if we'll even do anything else. Salaries of officials. I suppose you don't need all those salaries. It's fine. I don't know. What's our cultural self-fulfillment? Yeah, it's pretty high up there. I'm going to lower the cultural enlightenment kind of a thing. I think it is art and whatnot that we are spending that money on. So, yeah, we are going to be on the negative this turn, but okay, we can't even go that much on the negative. What shall we lower? Our... we can get that later, yeah.